talk about the game in a second, and then the lineups, and then we'll talk about, was it a penalty, was it not a penalty? I know Paul over on our Twitter has already said that he thinks it's a blatant penalty. I've already seen that. I'm in two minds about it. It's like, is it a penalty, is it not? But let's go all the way back to the lineups, which you can see obviously at the bottom of your screen. Now, England, Gareth Southgate changed it up a little bit. We knew that Jack Butland was going to come and goal anyway, so there wasn't a massive surprise there when Butland come and goal. But Kyle Walker again at right centre-back. We'll talk about the positions. For me, I don't want to say Kyle Walker there in the World Cup for me. I just think that he's better at right back. I also think he's better than Trippier. I know Trippier has much improved since he's gone to Spurs, but I just think you want to play Kyle Walker in your out-and-out position. John Stones, who started alongside him, he had a very nervous start. I think if you're up against a better striker, I know Immobile is Serie A's top scorer, but I don't think he's quite right at the top there, because the league in Serie A is not as good as what La Liga is and the Bundesliga and the Premier League, in my opinion. But John Stones, a bit shaky. Is he the answer at England centre-back? Probably not. I thought Tarkowski, well, I know he gave away the penalty, which is a little bit harsh on him. I thought he was pretty solid. I think he potentially could go maybe as fourth choice centre-back, Just a shame again, I know I said it the other night about Jamal Lascelles not playing. And I just thought these two friendlies were absolutely ideal to see Jamal Lascelles. And, you're playing a right back in centre-back. And is Southgate going to play three at the back going into the World Cup? Is that something that you guys want to see as well? Let us know in the live chat over here, because I moved the live chat to the left screen, haven't I? And Southgate was saying that he wanted to play Eric Dyer in centre-back role, and he wasn't even playing him there. He's playing him defensive midfield role, which, yes, is Pochettino was saying that Pochettino was saying, not Pellegrino, that Pellegrini's a player, fitly. Pochettino, I'll get it out, was saying that he's much better in defensive midfield, and I think that's probably his best position. But I'd rather have Dyer playing at centre-back than Kyle Walker, in my eyes. And then you had Trippier, who's playing the right wing-back. Ashley Young is another one, a left wing-back. Is he generally our second best left-back going into this World Cup? Is he? For me, no. I think there's much better left-backs than him. You're probably looking at Bertrand, Leighton Baines, who hasn't been great either. And there's a couple of other, you could say even Luke Shaw, but is Ashley Young really second best? He's not even an out-and-out left-back. And I think Danny Rose has that position all for himself in the World Cup. And then he had Chamberlain again playing in his second game in that centre midfield role. Is he going to go with Henderson and Chamberlain? I know it was Lingard who started in that deeper role tonight in the centre midfield role, but is he thinking like going with Henderson and going with Chamberlain in centre midfield? For me, Chamberlain looks the favourite at the moment, because he's played both games. And I think, he brings a bit of power and energy and speed into the centre midfield and get forward. Is that what Southgate's thinking? Playing on the counter against, if we come up against the likes of Brazil, Argentina, Spain, etc., and we can sit back and try and get forward. Is that the thinking behind it? I don't know. But Vardy up front, I think Vardy will go to the World Cup. I think he'll be Harry Kane's backup. I think it'll be Kane, Vardy, and then you're probably looking at who's going to be third or fourth striker, and then Raheem Sterling, who was playing in a role that I haven't really seen much of him, playing as a sort of like a striker / second striker as well. But I can't see your live comments. I'll get to them in a second. But Raheem Sterling playing in that further up top, I think he's more dangerous going for the middle. I know he plays out wide for Manchester City, but international defenders do not want to play against international defenders do not want to play against attackers who literally run at you. And I thought when he was picking the ball from deep tonight, Sterling, and run at you, can see the Italians' defence were all over and they didn't want to get close to him and everything. And he was literally running, and maybe that's something that you play him in the number 10 perhaps. If Southgate adopts that, that's another option. One thing I will say about Southgate, and I'll stick up for him, is that he gives youth a chance. Although you should be picking Shelvey and Lascelles for me, because those two deserve to be in that England side. But he does give youth a chance. I don't see the point in having players that are reputation. So the likes of Danny Welbeck. Why is Danny Welbeck in that England squad? Has Danny Welbeck really had a good season? Adam Lallana's barely kicked any football. He just comes straight back into the side. you've got to pick players on form, and he's kind of going back on his word a little bit about the form bit. Yes, he picks new players, which is great, but there's 2 at Newcastle that should be in that side as well. Let's talk about the game dead quickly then. The second half was poor, but the first half, 16th minute cross comes in from the right. Immobile, this is by his 3rd chance, finds himself with a free header and puts it over, and that's poor for me. He's got to put that on the back of the net. England started then to come out the shells a little bit after 20 minutes. Sterling played in Vardy, and Donnarumma, who will go very, very far in the game. He's only just turned 19. He will go very far. Buffon, on the live stream the other night, someone was asking the question about, I thought he thought that Buffon had retired. When he had retired, and then he came back out retirement, because he played the other night, Buffon, but he didn't play at night. But Donnarumma will go far. He will be a world star, without a shadow of a doubt. 26 minutes in, Sterling was fouled. Twice, really. He was running at the defence, as I was saying before. But Jesse Lingard's very quick, very smart. Plays it into Jamie Vardy. Jamie Vardy's got a bit of free roam, runs, and just pings one beautiful finish at the back of the net. England go 1-0 up as well. Fantastic. Someone was saying to me tonight that Jesse Lingard looks like... have you ever seen Bo Selector, Michael Jackson? Looks like him. That's start creasing. I thought it was funny, but fantastic by Lingard playing Vardy 1-0. Immobile had another chance but trickled wide. Sterling continued to run at Italy's defence. Young was free. He had his deflected shot just going wide. And then went at half-time, you were thinking, is Southgate going to ring the changes? Yeah, but he didn't. It never did Italy, to be fair. And the second half was shite. It really was. The second half was crap. I watched. I'm not going to lie, I was more on my phone than what I was watching the England game. It was really poor. I think a lot of substitutes, you've seen the likes of Belotti come on, Chiesa, and Rashford and Henderson, etc. later on. But that penalty, let's get on to that penalty incident. Chiesa, who actually said in the other presenters, I've been with Alicia, Will and Sharky earlier on today, and I said, you better watch this kid, Chiesa, he is something special. Was it a penalty? He picks the ball up, he starts running at the defence. My initial thought it was a corner, and one of the Italian players come up and said that's a corner, ref, because he thought he wouldn't get the corner. And obviously he's heard something, the referee's heard something in his ear, goes over a check, look, is it a penalty, is it not a penalty? Sees it on a couple of replays. Now, depending on where you sit, I know Paul's been quite vocal on Twitter tonight saying it's adamant it's a penalty. I'm still 50-50 on it. I don't know if it's a penalty, because Chiesa's already on his way down and the ball's already been kicked quite a far distance whilst he's already gone down. However, Tarkowski does stand on his foot. So it's a case of, if Chiesa has the ball under control, that's a penalty for me. But he didn't. See, I don't think he had control of the ball, and he goes flying and he flings himself. I don't think that's a penalty. I think, yes, it's a foul, but he doesn't have control of the ball's already going out and he's already going down at the same time. So it's one of those. Is it not? If it's further up 30 yards away or 20 yards earlier, it's a free kick if it's out of the box, because the ball is likely to still be in play. But let us know, what do you think on that? Let us know in the live chat as well. In England, they were trying to go on and try and nick a winner, but the game fizzled out, to be fair. And England drew 1-1 with Italy. Let's have a look at your live chat, what you've been saying. So Daniel says it wasn't a penalty. He was already on his way down when he stood on his foot. You can say why the ref give it. Yeah, that's exactly what I've just said. It's a foul, but Chiesa doesn't have any control of the ball. Max agrees. Max, what do you agree with? Daniel says, I thought Pope would have got a chance. Great keeper, best form in the league. Yeah, it's interesting that Pope didn't get a look in at all, and that's all you ask, really, is if you get called up to have a look in. Again, I'm going to come back to Jamal Lascelles. At least Jamal Lascelles should be in that England side, at least having a look at it. If he doesn't play, then fair enough. At least Southgate's looked at him. But yeah, well, Southgate already had said that Butland would play tonight, so you can't really go back on his word. But it would have been nice to see Pope, because he's been absolutely fantastic this season. Daniel Shelby would have been unlocked that defence. Yeah, same as Holland. Cannot understand how Cook went and not Shelby. Well, he's picked Livermore, and as far as I'm aware, I don't think Livermore's played in any of the two games. I'm just trying to think of the other night. Did Livermore play? I'm sure he didn't. And he definitely didn't play tonight. So, and he's picked Cook. Yeah, he's an England under 20 World Cup winner, etc. he should be in that England side. It's simple as that. And if Southgate's being told that he can't pick him, he's been undermined. For me, if he's being told that you can't pick him. Jack says, do you rate V.A.R? Nah, I still don't. I think it's interesting. Don't get me wrong. I think it gets debates going all the time. I don't think it's helped in that sense because people are still debating whether the V.A.R is the correct decision, even though that's a free kick, that's a penalty, that's a corner, that's offside, whatever. The actual V.A.R and how it runs and how the referee goes up, that's more being debated than the actual incident in the match, which is not the right way. And I know it's going to be at the World Cup, and we're going to probably have to go and be patient. I think it's coming in for the right reasons. I totally get that. It just needs a lot more work put on V.A.R because, I'll go back to Newcastle. The Manchester United Gale, when he went down Chris Smalling on the edge of the box, that was a very, very similar incident tonight. What happened with Chiesa when we got nothing. But if V.A.R was in place, we would have got a penalty. I know we won the game and it didn't matter, but going to go back earlier on this season, remember when we played Bournemouth at home, Dwight Gale scored and the referee gave it as offside. He wasn't. Dwight Gale was onside. V.A.R would have corrected that and we would have got at least a point, maybe even 3, because we could have went on to second because we dominated that game. I know we lost, but we dominated that game. Even going earlier, way back to the beginning of the season when Harry Kane scissored Florian Lejeune, if V.A.R was in place there, so I think it's here for the right reasons. I think it just needs to be worked on a lot more. I thought V.A.R, even now, not a fan of it, was dealt with quite quickly by the German ref. Yeah, I think it's got to improve. It's got to, I think it's just a work in progress. I think goal line technology, everybody was saying that's got to come in, and we were saying that for years, and it eventually did come in, and it's fantastic because the referee has to watch and know straight away goal and no goal. Simple as that. I think for me, V.A.R, instead of the referee running to the touchline to check it himself, there should be a referee who just literally has loads of TV screens in his ear, like the assistants, because they all talk to each other. Penalty, no penalty, free kick, goal kick, corner, whatever, offside. I think for me, that'll speed it up a little bit. And I think also what's key as well, which has to come in with V.A.R, is the crowd have got to know what's going on. I do not want to be sitting there next season, whatever, it's St James's Park, hanging around, not knowing what's going on for 10 minutes. I'll take you back to the Burton game last season in the Championship. Remember when Matt Ritchie's penalty, which was by Keith Stroud, bizarrely wiped it out. So Matt Ritchie steps up, and then there's some heated debate, it goes on for about 10 minutes, the crowd haven't got a fucking clue what's going on, and then Keith Stroud gives a free kick. Now, if V.A.R is in the actual stadium, at least the crowd will actually know, so that's going to have to come in. There's going to have to be a couple of TV screens around the ground just to know what the fans are going on. I think it's great that Newcastle have a TV screen up by the Leazes, but you're going to have to put one somewhere around the Gallagher if V.A.R comes in, because we're not going to have a clue what's going on. And, V.A.R would have corrected that decision, but that decision by Keith Stroud is thick in the heat, that. But all in all, over the 2 games, a win and a draw against, I'm not going to say that, but they're not the powers that used to be, Holland and Italy, and the both of them aren't at the World Cup, which is fucking crazy to say that. Italy and Holland not at the World Cup. Absolute bonkers. It is crazy how they're not going to be there. And the Dutch bring loads and loads of colour, and they're like the British, they go travel, they follow the team. A lot more well behaved, mind you, but the Italians, they're not going to be there. It's going to be a strange World Cup. Speaking of the World Cup, when Southgate announces his squad, we'll see. But the likes of Lascelles and Shelby, I think their international careers is over. But that's been a quick stream tonight. Tomorrow, over on the main, tonight actually on the main channel, me and Alicia have been talking about Richie's injury. Slimani played tonight. He come off the bench. Mitrovic grabbed a double as well. If you haven't seen that, Mitrovic got a double for Serbia. Paul's on Twitter tonight. He's running the Twitter. I've actually got the night off, to be fair. So I think the other lads are doing a couple of posts. I might put some posts up on Facebook because I'll probably be bored in an hour or two. But but I think that's pretty practically it. That was it. Right. So yeah, Richie Slimani's injury update on the main channel. There is some news that Lejeune is potentially injured, which the media have not got a hold of yet. So we'll watch it. We can't really say too much, but it looks like Florian Lejeune could be injured. He was pictured at the RVI on crutches, which the media have not got a hold of that yet. What else is coming up this week? Tomorrow we've got Will and Sharky previewing the Huddersfield game, and then the next game, and on Thursday, it's me, Will and Sharky, looking at Huddersfield, and then Friday your press conferences as usual. I'm blabbering on. I'm going to love yous and leave yous. Have a good night. Let us know if you're watching the rerun of the video as well of the England game. Watch what you're doing. See you later. Bye bye.